Hey guys, it's Glitch56 here, and today we're going to be making a bank. Now, the bank is where we can put money. Sorry about that. We can put money into the bank to store it, so I'm not going to be making an autosave script so that when you leave the game it saves. I'm not going to be doing that. I'll do that for another video, and you can incorporate that later if you want to. But what this is going to do is you're going to walk into the bank. It's going to give you a GUI. It's going to pop up. And when you click on the deposit or withdraw button, it's going to make another GUI pop up. You can enter in how much money, and then it'll store it. It'll take it from your balance and store it. So let's get started. So first thing you're going to want to do is going to make a part. Let's resize that to make it into sort of a door. Let's set the can collide to 0 and the transparency 2.7. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to insert a script. Now with this, what you're going to want to do is remove print. We don't never need that unless you're going to actually be using that, but local inside equals false. So this is going to be our debounce. So script.parent.touched connect function, and in these parentheses, brackets, whatever, type in hit. Now local player equals, this one's going to be a little different, game.players get player from character hit.parent. Now local frame. Now this is going to be the frame that we use. So what you're going to want to do is go to starter GUI, create the new screen GUI right here, and type in frame. Now this is going to be a frame. We can rename it, so let's just say bank frame. Actually, we can change it to main, because it's pretty much what it is. Frame equals player dot player GUI dot. Let's actually rename this too. Let's rename it to bank GUI dot bank GUI dot main. Now, if inside is equal to false, then inside equals true. Now we're going to do a check for if it was a human that touched it. So if check, or local check equals hit.parent find first child. Now in these quotes or whatever, you can type in humanoid. Okay, so if check is not nil, then now we can say frame tween position udim2 dot new, and in here we're going to say 0.5. You don't need the spaces in between these, but I'm going to add them anyways just to make it look a little, make it a little easier to read for you guys. Negative 250. Actually, let's make it 150. Oh my, 150. 0.5, negative 150. Now, that's going to put in the middle of the screen. So what that means is we're going to need to change the size of this to 300 by 300, which is this big here. Now let's move this to 0.5, negative 150, and move it to negative 500, negative 500. And that's just going to put it way up at the top here. We're not going to see it. We don't need to see it. It's now in the script. When we touch it, it's going to tween it. Let's just check. Oh, something's wrong there. Yeah, right there. Let's finish this first. Out. So that's the pretty much the direction. Sign. That's just going to be a straight line to the, and it's going to like slow down once it gets there. And the duration of how long you want it to take. Okay, so let's test that. Okay, it's disappeared. Second. Oh, yeah, it's gone. Okay, let's actually just finish this to make sure that I have everything right. I don't want to be looking dumb here. Inside, if inside is equal to true, then frame tween position. You know, let's just copy this. Oop, it'll just be easier. Yeah. Set this to 0 and negative 500. That's going to take it back. Now, let's actually just make this literally solid, so. Oh, it just sinks to the ground. Okay, then. So that's what happens. Why does it sink through the ground? Oh, it's not anchored. I'm dumb. Sorry about that. There it is. As you can see, it tweens it down. If we touch it again, it tweens it back up. So now, what we're going to want to do is now that this script is finished now, we don't need to do anything else to this. It's done. So now what we can do is we can go into server script service, insert a script, and let's not call it anything. Now what we're going to want to do is type in game.players.player added connect. Now this is going to be our leaderboard. Now if you don't need to it's not going to be entirely a leaderboard. But if you have this already, you're not going to really need to do anything. You're just going to need to make the variables and all that. So let's get into this here. So player inside of the brackets. We can say wait 0.5 just to make sure everything loads. Local leader equals instance.new int value, and we're going to put that in the player. Player. Oh, actually, leader should be a folder. It'll just make it easier to read. I don't think we need anything else, so local cache equals instance.new int value, and that's going to go inside of leader. Cache.name equals cache.value equals 0. You can change this 0 to whatever you want. That's just how much money you're going to start out with when you join the game. So now what we can do is say local bank equals instance.new. This is too hard to read. I'm gonna make it a little bigger. Instance.new. This is going to be another folder, and it's going to be inside the player. Bank dot just in case, you guys can go back and look at this, pause this if it was too small. Okay, bank dot name equals bank. That's all we need for that. Local money to bank. We're just gonna say m2 bank equals instance dot new. This is gonna be an int value, and it's going to go inside of bank. Now, I don't know if these are gonna work 100%. If they don't, we're just gonna have to go back and change it to bank dot parent is player. Doesn't really matter. It's not gonna be that big of a deal. Anyway, m2 bank dot name equals, we can just call this money to bank with no spaces, because it's a pain if you do have spaces. And then we're gonna need local banked. That equals instance dot new int value as well, and it's going to go inside of bank as well. Now we're going to call this boop banked dot value is equal to equals 0. Oh my, 0. Banked dot name equals, we can just say banked cash. Oh, let's fix that real quickly. Okay. So that looks about good. Now we can add interest. We could do that. I think we should do that later if we're going to do that. So this should be about good for now. Just this stuff here. If you already have cash and leader stats, then you should be good. Oh, right, sorry. Leader dot name equals leader stats. Oh my. I am terrible at this. Okay. Now, this should all be good. So, now what we can do is we can go back to here and actually start making this. Now, let's just move the position to, let's just say 0. So we can actually make this. So we're going to need to insert a text label. This should be, one is going to be the deposit slash withdraw. Deposit slash withdraw. That'll be one. And then we're going to need one for how much money we have. So money in bank. And we can just readjust these. Let's change the background of this to nice dark color. This one here is the deposit slash withdraw. So let's move it. Let's get rid of the background. Change the text to a nice blue color. And let's say text scaled, and let's move it to, let's move it to the middle, so 0.5 minus 100. We can probably just leave it there. Let's actually change the text to source sans bold. I think that looks nice. Now we can just duplicate this by doing Control D. Everything should be about the same. We can move this down to the bottom, so say 250. Okay, let's move that up just a tiny bit. Okay, this should be able to fit down there. Now this will say money in account. Yeah, let's do that. Money in account. And now we need some buttons. Text button. Now let's just duplicate that one. So this one is going, actually let's do the same thing. Keep it 1, modify this one. So text is going to be white. just to differentiate buttons. Solar Sans bold. I like Solar Sans bold. You don't have to have it as that. And this here. Now let's call it deposit. And the text will be deposit, and let's move it to 0.5 minus 100. 0.5 minus 25. That's the middle. Let's go with 50. Right. 15. Oh boy. Negative 15. Sorry, I like to just play around with it. So with 75. Looks good. Now let's duplicate it. Say withdraw. And let's move it down to negative 25. Let's actually maybe set to 0. Let's see how that looks. I think it's a little too close down there, so let's just change that to negative 10. That's not too bad. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a new frame. It's actually called duplicate that. This is gonna be deposit, and this one is going to be withdraw. So I just want to test everything real quick. So it doesn't matter about this. Doesn't matter. We're just gonna go back, hit this. As you can see, it moves back. Hit it again, goes out. So let's go into here. Check. Make sure we have a value. I did not name cash, did I? Okay, I did. It's just freaking out. So we're gonna change the parent to leader stats. Bank, we've got everything there. We're all good. All we gotta do, right here. Let's just change that to, let's actually do that for all of them. Equals leader. This one can stay good, and this one can also stay like that. M2 bank dot parent equals bank, and same thing with this one. Banked dot parent parent equals bank. There. Now we can go out and say, you know what would be a good idea? This would be a good idea. Duplicating these twice, and we can just change everything inside of them. That would be a good idea. Make everything a whole lot easier. So, first off, we're going to want to change this to deposit. And the other one to withdraw. Now, let's just change. Let's do deposit first. Let's change the position to 500. Oop, that's a little too much. There, 300. That's not too bad. Now, we've got all this. Let's change the text. We only need one text button in here, so let's just delete that. And this one. So what we're going to need to add is a text box. This is going to be for entering in however much we want. So let's just change this to clear background, Solar Sans bold as usual. Now the text is going to say amount, and the text is going to be white. It's also going to be text scaled, and let's move it down to 0.5, negative 100, 0.5, negative 50. Move that down just a tad bit more. Oh, okay, that's the wrong direction. Sorry, I'm really bad at this. 30. I haven't really done GUI stuff a whole lot, so bear with me here. Now, let's move this button here. Let's actually change its text color to green. Pause it. Let's move this down to... Wait. Okay, yeah. Let's get rid of that negative sign. Move it down to 85. That looks pretty good. So now what you were gonna say is amount that we want to deposit. So what we can do is what should we do? What should we do? Well, right here we should say amount we want to deposit. So let's duplicate this. Move this down. Oop. To 50. Am I dumb or something? Yeah, I think it's all good. I think it's all good. We can actually move this up because it's just being sad. Let's also move the button to 55. Oh, no. Nope. 75. 65. Yeah, that's about good. Now in the deposit, we can say this can be white. Amount to is it? It's actually a colon there. Amount to deposit. And what we can say is right here. Make this a little bigger. That would be a good idea. So 300. Let's do 250. Move this back. 250. 125. There. And move it down to 70. It's fair. It doesn't need to be perfect. You can change this to however you want. This is just a tutorial. So, now that we've got all that, let's go ahead and change the main to 0. Let's put it in the middle of the screen. 0.5 to negative 150. So now that it's in the middle, let's actually just say not visible. And then the deposit one can be the same. Now, as you can see, it's in front of it, so let's just put it into Start GUI and put it back. Wrong one. There. Now we got that. So now in main, we want to go to the text button, deposit. Let's just call it deposit. Oop. Now, what we can do is enter here a script. And this script is going to say script.parent.mousebutton1 down. Now let's do click. Sorry, that was dumb of me. Connect. Function. And now we've got this. So, this we can say, let's actually do this. Local, one more. Local box equals script.parent.parent.parent. Box is going to be the deposit frame. Dot deposit. That's our frame. That's what box means. Now, local button equals script.parent and local. If it doesn't work, we can get rid of the locals, but open equals false. Now in here, we can say if open is equal to false, then open equals true. Now we can start changing the actual frames and all that. So let's say button dot text equals close. This is going to make it so that when you click the button, it'll change it to closing it to please close. Now let's change the box. Box. We could say dot visible. Yeah, let's do that. Dot visible equals true. We're gonna have it. We're probably gonna have them not visible so that it doesn't mess up anything. Equals true. Box. Tween position. What we can do is we can just go back and grab this right here. Yeah. And let's just put this right here, get rid of frame. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the deposit frame over to, let's get rid of that. Oh, that's the wrong side. Let's get rid of that. 150. That looks pretty good. So what we can do is just do Control Z, get rid of this. There. Now that should all be good. And say open equals true. Oh, I already did that. Else if open is equal to false. Oh, true, I mean, sorry. Then I forgot the then. Then let's grab this again. Box tween position equals, or let's move it to right there. Now we can say button.text equals deposit weight 1.5. Now this will make it so that once it'll wait until I'll wait for the 1 second for it to go back to the main position, and then half a second later it will then do these things right here. So box.visible that's not box.visible equals false. So then once it's behind the main, it will then become invisible, and open equals false. That should all be good for the deposit one. So it's not working. Yeah, right there. Just keep at this for a minute here. Okay, so that's still broken. It doesn't really matter. It's not that big of a deal. I think I have done a dumb. Let's just check everything one more time. Let's just change everything to where it should be. So deposit should be not visible, and main should be at 0. Actually, let's just copy this. Copy this entire thing right here so that we have it. So this can go to 500, and this can be at 0. Oh dang, that's supposed to be a negative. Play. Okay. So yeah, that's just not doing anything right now. So we're going to have to fix that. Let's make it actually a local script. Copy all of this and put it into here. And just delete this script. If that doesn't work, we'll just get rid of the locals. Yeah, okay, let's get rid of the locals then. So as you can see, there's no error for globals. Oh, I'm dumb. I'm sorry. Right here, we need to put open. Oh, that's not how you spell open. Right there, we need to put open. So, now let's try that. I think, yeah, I'm being dumb. I'm sorry here. So we can just say button, dot, mouse button 1. Oh my. Oh my. I am sorry, people. I am so sorry. That is not what I wanted. Yeah, there. So now it'll move it back. We can click that again. It's now invisible. Keep clicking it, all that. It's all good. It should all be good. There. So now what we can do is go back. Let's just check this. I want to check this for a second here. Cache equals all that. I must just be dumb. I think I'm just missing something here. Well, whatever. It's not that big of a deal, as I said. So now that we've got the deposit, we can also just copy this or duplicate it and put it into this text button. So as we have position. Oh, that. Oh. Yep, I'm sorry for that. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Okay, position. Oh. Sorry for being so unorganized here. Now we're going to change this back to -150. Now it's in the middle of the screen. We've got the deposit one working. Now let's get this one working. So, what a better idea would be is to duplicate deposit because it looks quite a lot like it. So, what we're going to do is we're going to say, oh, this one here. This one is withdraw. And just to make sure, we're going to go out. Yep. So, now everything is about the same. We can change this to withdraw. There's really nothing that we need to change in here. Unless you want to. These don't need to be these values. You can change them to whatever you want, wherever you're putting them. You can also change these. There's bounce, whatever you want. I just like sign. I like to have it go straight. So there's that done. There's still quite a lot to do, just so you guys know. So continuing on. Now that we have that, let's make this uninvisible. As you can see, we're going to need to move frame back, but I'll do that later. So with the withdraw, we're going to say this here, this here. Yeah, let's change this to red. Doesn't need to be if you don't want to, but I like it red. Withdraw. Now, this text label here, we can say amount to withdraw. Oh, yeah, right there. That's what I messed up. Let's change this to withdraw. That's not how you spell withdraw. Okay. Withdraw. Let's just go into deposit here. Fix that. Deposit. Now we got all that. That should all be good. Let's just make this invisible. Move main back to here and into here. Oh, right. Oops. Let's just hit this a couple times. Now, I'm getting errors here. I'm not 100% sure why, but I just know that it's not that big of a deal. Sometimes you have to wait a while for it to actually work. You know what? I'm too lazy to wait, so we're just gonna go back. Withdraw opens up withdraw. And deposit. So they both open up. It's all good. Yeah. Oh, okay. So now what we can do is go into deposit, and in the text button, we can, let's just make this invisible and this visible. Okay. In the text button, let's insert a script. Now the script right here, and we can get rid of that right off the bat. So yeah, we can say local player. You don't have to do this. This probably takes a lot. It's probably inefficient. I don't care. This is what I like to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's our player script dot parent dot mouse button 1 click connect connect function. Now we can say this is the actual part where we're going to be moving the money. So player dot bank. Oh, that's not bank. Bank. Sorry about that. Bank dot money to bank dot value equals player dot bank dot money to bank dot value and minus it. So this means the value of it is the value minus itself, so then it'll bring it back down to 0, if that makes any sense. So if you have 10 here, the value is 10, then it'll be 10 minus 10. That brings it back down to 0. And the reason why we have this is so that it kind of confirms how much money we're putting in. I don't think we really need this, but this is what I'm doing. So script.parent, parent. Oh, that's too many parents. Dot text box dot text. Now this is how much money we're going to be saving. So let's just test that for a minute. So right here, we've got bank and money to bank. So we can say 10. Yeah, right there. Changes it to 10. And if we send it to 20, it will say 10 minus 10 equals 0 plus 20. There you go. That's how that all works. So now in here, back into the script, we are going to back to here. If player dot leader stats dot cash dot value is more than or equal to player dot bank dot money to bank dot value, then then player dot leaders, let's just copy this, equals minus player dot bank dot money to bank dot value. Kind of looks like a lot, I know, and we're not quite finished yet. So now we say player dot bank dot banked cash dot value equals player dot bank dot banked cash dot value plus, oh, I'm sorry, it's a lot. I know it's a lot. There. Okie dokie. So all this here, as I said, is the confirmation. If you have more or the same amount of cash that you are typing that you want to deposit, then it will, right here, it will minus the amount from your cash and will add the amount to the banked cash. So let's just test that for a second. I'm not 100% sure if it'll work already, but we're just gonna check. 10. Oh, I don't have any money. So we're gonna do players.instaclash56 dot leader stats. Actually, I think that's it right there. Yeah, but let's minus a couple of zeros. 1,000. So let's put in $100 deposit. See right there, we got $100 in our banked cash, and it also takes $900 away from our cash. So now all we have to do is deal with getting the money out. That's our main thing for right now. So all you can do is just duplicate this, go down to withdraw, and put it into that text button. It's easy. And then what you're going to want to say is yeah, we're going to need to change this a little bit. So this can all stay the same up here. But this needs to change. Player dot banked cash. Oh, banked cash. I forgot the bank. Dot bank. Dot bank cash dot value needs to be more than or equal to player dot bank dot money to bank dot value. So if it is, then we can say player dot bank. Actually, we can just do this plus minus. A lot easier than what I was just about to do, because it's literally the exact same thing I was just going to do. So now that we have that, let's actually make sure that everything is working. So visible, let's just make that invisible. I don't know if I made that one. Okay. Now let's change this back to -500. And let's try it. Touch, deposit. Let's make sure that I have $1,000. Let's put in 100. Deposit, $900. Close that. Withdraw. We are going to add how much money we have in a minute here. Then we can take out $100. Withdraw. We have $1,000. There we go. That's all working. So that's pretty much the core of it. You don't need to add the money in account. But it would be incredibly hard for someone to be able to do anything without it. So now what we can do is on main, we can, just a second, let's just move this back to 0.5 and -150. Now, right here, we are going to say a new text label. Let's copy it. Let's say price, or not price, what am I talking about? Account balance. Now, script. We're going to put a script in it. Now, right now, we're just going to move this around. So, let's change the text color to a green. Okay. And let's change this to a $sign. And we're also going to move it down. to 225. Actually, that's wrong. We could probably do 245. That looks about good. So on the script, we're going to say script.parent. Oh, actually, no. Let's do a while wait function, or loop. While wait .1, do local player, oh my, player equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So script.1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Looks good, right? Yeah. Okay, script.parent.text equals, I'm going to put a $sign here, 2 dots for connecting a sort of a line of code to it. We're going to say player, wait for child, bank. Now the reason we're doing this is to make sure that bank actually exists before we start trying to count how much money we have. I found that when I was testing it without this, and I just said .player.bank, it wasn't working. Nothing was happening. It was just saying, oh, that's not working. So now that we have that, we say banked cash.value. This should be everything we have. That should be everything we need. Should all be good. Let's play. Let's deposit. $100 deposit. As you can see, it's got $100. It's all good. It's working. You can take out $100 and it's going to say it's got $0. You can't withdraw any more money. We'll go into the negatives. Oh man, I've been talking a while. So, that looks all good. Let's just go through everything to make sure. Well, I'm not going to be adding interest. I could actually. But yeah, let's do that. Let's add interest. We're not going to be adding any indicator. You can add that if you want. I don't want to because it's going to take too long. So, we're going to go up to server script storage. We're going to say local interest equals instance.new. It's going to be an int value. Where should we put this? Where should we put this? Let's make a folder. Local full equals instance.new folder. And we're going to put it in the player. I'm so sorry. And we're not going to name it anything. We're just going to keep it like that. It's all good. So now what we can do is say interest.value equals 300. You can change this to whatever you want. 300 is 5 minutes in seconds. So we can say interest.name equals, say, interest time. Here, let's just check this. I want to make sure that everything is big enough for that you guys can see. We can actually probably make this a little bigger. You guys can probably see it. Oh, that looks so really weird. But I think it's just we're gonna have to keep it like that. So interest time and interest dot parent equals fall or full, whatever. So now we should have an extra folder and have the interest in it. So now what we can do, this is the fun part. Yeah, you can change this to whatever you want. I don't care. It'll work with whatever. So now what we can say is we're going to need something that we're going to need a script. Sorry, I have not used to talking this long. We're going to need a script. This script is going to make it so that whatever we have in the bank is then multiplied. So First of all, what we need to do is close these because we don't need them anymore. Actually, what we can do is just say this can go to -500. We don't need that anymore. You can figure this out. I'm not going to figure it out. It works good enough anyways. So what we're going to do is we're going to go bank, a script. We're going to insert a script. Oh, that's wrong. The script is going to be the interest time. Right there. Just a second, that's driving me crazy. I have OCD. So while wait 1 do local player equals script dot parent dot parent dot parent local interest equals player dot folder dot interest time. Interest dot value equals interest dot value -1. And if interest dot value is equal to 0, then interest dot value equals 300. Let's actually wait 1. Yeah. So there's that. This will count down by 1 second. It'll -1 from the interest value, so 500 seconds or 300 seconds, 5 minutes. When it hits 0, it'll wait a second and it'll bring it back up to 5 minutes. So now we need a script that makes it so that when it hits that 5-minute mark, it'll multiply our money. So the question is, where are we going to put that? Well, that's an interesting question. What we can do is we could just put it straight into here. We could. I don't really want to do that though. So let's find another place that we could put it. I have an idea. Let's put it just into the into here. Let's make another script. So script. That's not what I wanted. I'm sorry, this is taking so long. You guys can skip ahead through these things. So local player. Oh God. Yeah, right here actually. Let's just do that. Player dot folder dot in. Oh, that's not right. We need to go to bank dot banked value cash value equals. So how much do we want? That is up to you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that it's 15%. So plus times, an asterisk means a times, if you didn't know that, times 0.15. That is 15%. So this is going to say the value is this plus 15% of whatever the value is. This is compound. This will be compounded. So I don't think we actually need the plus there, but I'm gonna keep it there anyways. You can change that if you want. This is what I use. This is what I'm doing, so I'm keeping it like this. So yeah. I think that's about it. Don't think we need anything else. We can make this more complicated. But I don't want to do that right now. Here, let's just go test this quickly. Oof. $1,000. Let's go touch this thing. Pause it. say $1,000 or $100, $1,000. We'll get profit of have $1,150 in our account by the time that this reaches 0. So let's actually set it to 5 so that we have 5 seconds, and then once it reaches 0, it should times this by 15%. Yeah, there we go. So our interest is working. Right, perfectly fine. Let's just make sure it's working 100%. Ah, there we go. So that's about it. Here's all the scripts. You can pause it on any of the scripts if you want to. Check them. Make sure you did them all right. There are probably going to be some problems, so I'll make sure to check out the comments. What is this script for? So yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.